A terrific Tuesday to you and welcome to Joy News Interactive with me, Mabita Sibidi. We're live from digital address GA0992539 here in Kokomemle, Accra. You can also watch us live on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 144. But you can join the interactive train on Facebook and Twitter. We are Joy News on TV. Now, former President John Kufuor has attributed Ghana's slow pace of development to failed leadership. He said most of our leaders are performing poorly because they are not prepared and were forced into positions. So I want to know, what do you make of this statement? I asked you on Facebook. Let's see if we can take those. So Stefan said, John Mahama can be a testimony to this because his boss died, he had to be president, he was just not prepared. And Stefan Anim's comment had 18 replies. Let's see if I can, I won't go to all the replies, but it had 18 replies. You can go to Facebook on Joy News on TV and check them out. But Samuel says, I agree 1,000%. Let's take the previous government for instance. Everything they did was never realistic, yet they chop our small coins and run away. This current government too are pushing their members into offices they don't deserve simply because they campaigned for them. And if we can go to Mac Robertson, who says ex-President Kufuor should have been more specific. Ex-President Rawlings never missed words when it comes to issues regarding the NDC. Ex-President Kufuor is and has been too charitable within the NPP under Nana Addo's leadership. If we can go to William, who says, this is what I call justice. Disciples of politicians cannot think deep like this. They always support them blindly. Mr. X Bravo. All Ghanaian presidents were not ready for the job before coming to power. And Francis Amangpong says, that's true. Babies with sharp teeth all over Africa. After we vote for them, they become special breed of Ghanaians and no longer follow long traffic jams that are caused due to their failure to construct dual carriageways. Valanya Katia always commenting on our Facebook, and he says, yes, he is on point. How can you appoint someone who is not a medical doctor to overall the Ministry of Health? And what results will you expect to get? He got 6 replies. Let's see if we can get a few of those. So Stefan Amin says, is health all about medical school? And Mohammed Abdullah says, does the Ministry of Health conduct surgery? Stefan Amin comes into laugh. And Donald Donaldson says, but wisely, if we have a Minister of Health with medical background, it's better than a carpenter. And Bruce Kwesi says he should know, as he was one of the failed leaders, according to Kwesi, but must say he was and is the best leader Ghana has had since independence, and he has made a difference and made a stable economy. So those are your comments on ex-President John Kufuor's statement. George Nana says, not just the presidents, but the ministerial positions, MMDCEs, district coordinators, and etc. Most of them are square pegs put in round holes. John Hammond says, yes, it's true. When you look at JJ, he was forced into power. Daniel McGraby says he had been prepared by the Freemasons, I guess. And Joe Edu says, just like Akufo-Addo, he is too old to govern a country like Ghana. They ignored the young Alan Cash. Now see the mess. So those are your comments on Facebook. Do keep them coming through on Joy News on TV, both on Facebook and Twitter. Tramor. How do we tackle this menace?
It's one of the
Now, those were some recommendations from key players to tackle tramadol abuse. In the meantime, the Mental Health Authority and other stakeholders in health say Parliament must urgently amend the narcotic drug law to make tramadol an illicit drug. Now, the Chief Executive Officer of the authority, Dr. Akwesi Osei, said the law should also be amended to impose stiffer punishment on importers of the drug. So I want to know, do you think this is the surest way to curb the abuse of the drug? Let's go to Facebook on that. Philip says, this generation is the most dangerous, and the so-called free education is going to make things even worse. Okay, and James comes to say that, yes, it is one of the surest ways, but let us be citizens and not spectators by reporting the existence of every tramadol in any shop in Ghana. He got 2 replies. Let's see. Freddie Blair says, but I think it has some couple of positive effects, and that's why they're sold. And James says, positive effects such as, so he's asking, what type of positive effects does it have? And Freddie Nana says, maybe criminalization of its abuse is necessary, but I reckon educating the people of all the harmful effects of its abuse is important. Smoking marijuana is illegal, yet it is abused every day, and the most disturbing is the fact that a lot of people, especially young ones, become new users every day. Valanya Katia says, my boss, this law will not work. Just mark it on the wall so far as these Aboshi people are living in Ghana and moving free range. Forget it. Those nail cutters, just approach them and see if you can get some to buy. By Jeremiah says, it's a big no. We have a serious challenge when it comes to the implementation and enforcement of our laws. We should rather intensify public education on the effects of the abuse of tramadol. Kweku Billy says, same primitive thinking measures will not help. Find jobs for the youth to keep them busy. They won't even think of tramol anymore. Edward Miller comes in to say that, aren't we tired of these committees, these institutions are there, yet we have problems of drug abuse. What at all is their work? Freddie Blair comes in again to say, please, can someone brief me on some of the effects of abusing this drug, or the reason why some people take it? Commentator says, it's absolute out of place and without merit if the same drug is given to accident patients who are not able to sleep as a result of the intense pain they feel. And Isaac Bassa says, was it not tested by FDA before coming to the system? If they ban tramol, then one is also called cross and die. FDA and narcotics, shine your eyes. All right, so those are your comments. Emmanuel Ando says, how successful has the law been in curbing marijuana production, use, and abuse? Now let's go to the streets of Accra to hear what people think about this issue.
It's one of the measures that can be put in place to try and stop the abuse of tramadol, but to think that it will unilaterally or comprehensively solve the whole issue of its abuse, I think it will be quite mediocre on our part. Yes, it is something, and let us not make it as if tramadol is not a medicine. It's a drug that is used and prescribed by certain doctors, depending on the kind of pain or depending on the kind of illness or sickness that the person faces.
They've banned cocaine and weed and some other drugs, but then yes, still. We've seen it on streets. I mean, people are just using it anyhow. So this tramadol thing, I don't think that solution can work for it.
It may not be the surest way to stop its usage, but it is going to help reduce the rate at which people use it. It's a call in the right direction. If it's added to the narcotics, it's going to help.
We're going to take a quick breather. When we come back, we're talking relationships. You're still watching Joy News Interactive with me, Mapisa Sibidi. Remember, you can join the interactive train on Facebook and Twitter. We are Joy News on TV. Now, following the Ernest Opoku and Nayas's fight and the female actresses descending on KOD for his congratulation message to John Dumelo on his marriage, we want to know, what do you make of public figures attacking each other publicly? I mean, they're public figures, so what do you expect? But let's go to Facebook. Kwekubuli says, what KOD said is the truth, and he did not even mention anybody's name. Somebody should tell that Nayas lady that marriage is not by force, and her character will even drive away any reasonable man from her. Okay, if you say so. Mensa says, what do I make of it? What I make of it? That it's none of my business. That's good, you know. Kweku Maza says, we just want the Americans to come for their Ghana so that the so-called celebs will manage well besides any news about the U.S. military deal so far. Nana Yao says, when there's a hidden agenda by one of them, it explodes eventually when they refuse to tread cautiously. And Akapa says, social media is fueling these attacks on the public figures. The attackers don't want fame, they want revenge for some perceived wrong. Tony comes and says that, nah, love, I think them love themselves. Okay. And Coach Moses says, the women attacking the men. Valanya Katia says, these people are saying they're promoting the kingdom of God, not knowing they men. Okay, so Valanya Katia comes in to quote the Bible, and Papa Onki says, they are all showing their acting skills since the industry is not active for the past years. Okay. Nika Nana says, none of my business. Okay, that's also lovely. And Albert says it's bad. They should stop if they can. Jay says, but I think Miss Okora was being too harsh on him. But if the person deserves it, why not? And Williams Justice says, all of them are fools. And Johnson Anin thinks that they are all on drugs. Now, before I sign out, let's talk relationships. Courtship is the traditional dating period before marriage. During this period, couples get to know each other and decide if they can spend the rest of their lives together. Now, my question to you, does dating someone for long guarantee marriage? Does it give you lifetime insurance?
It doesn't matter how long you date. All you need to know is that you love each other and then you have the understanding. Okay, if, let's say, assuming the girl is in school and is going to finish in 80 years' time or something, and you really love the person, you stay. So it's based on the love, not the year.
If it's meant to be, it will be. If it's meant for you guys to get married, I think it will just happen. Because sometimes we think that dating for long guarantees that, no, I've dated him for 4 years, I've done this and that, but you permitted it to happen. Sometimes we are advised, but then we don't take it.
Dating for a long time doesn't guarantee that you know the person from all angles. Today I am in, tomorrow if I feel I want to be out, that's it. I don't have to tie myself to something that will haunt me for the rest of my life.
I don't think dating somebody for a long time is a license to marriage. Okay, so if you date somebody for a long time and then you realize that the person is not fit for marriage, or you guys do not dovetail into each other, I don't think you should go ahead and marry such a person.
We are asked you, does dating someone for a long time guarantee marriage or lifetime insurance? No, I'll keep it here. So Nana also says, it depends on the partners. Someone can date for 8 years before marriage, but that marriage can last till death and do them apart. Someone can also date for 6 months, get married, and later divorce. Marriage is about readiness, commitment, and prayers, and it's not a race. Enoch says, being in a vehicle for a long journey doesn't mean the car is for you. And Daslin says, nah, not all. Some girls have become Lord of the Ring for carrying rings on their fingers for 20 years. And I can mention names self. Okay, that's nice. Nana Yabwa says, it depends on so many things. For instance, at the initial stage of a relationship, where either the man or woman have the mindset set that they will marry, but at a point in time when one detects a strange behavioral attitude, this can change that same mindset and result in divorce. Kwame Brady says yes, because being with someone for more than 3 years means the person is good for you. So why don't you go ahead and get married? Though I know even marriage can break down, but if you love each other for that long, then I think you should get married. Salifu says he doesn't think so. If we date for long and I later realize that we can build a home together, then I can go to your house and meet your mother. All right, James comes in to say that dating for a long time is rather worsening the relationship and does not lead to marriage. Francis Coffey says, you have asked something crucial. I see it as not true love, because a man who wants to marry a woman and begin life with her will never date her for that long. It means when he gets any new chick, you will be left out. Dennis Tachi says, no, a man is not obliged to marry you because he dated you. Who to marry is a man's an exclusive right. So let's go to Nana Harrison, who says, if you have dated him for years and he hasn't said anything about marriage, my sister, buy the ring for yourself, carry him to church and marry him by force. Okay. Selassie Wise says, never. You can date for decades, but there's no guarantee for marriage. It's about who comes and proves to you that he or she loves you and is ready to make it up to you. Bayer Jeremiah says, acceptance of responsibilities by partners in the marital home is the only guarantee criteria for marriage. So Humphrey says, the statistics on marriages breaking is frightening. The villagers date themselves for so many years before getting married. More are interested to be wedded. And whilst Jay says, I hope this got no reference to John DeMello. Oh no, it has no reference. We're just asking a question. I mean, it's Joy News Interactive. We want to know your thoughts. We're just trying to pick your thoughts on certain things. Philip Kwating says dating someone for long is not automatic qualification for marriage. And Azita Amense says, it's a huge no. My previous relationship was an example. Okay, must have an interesting story there. And Valanya Katia says it depends on the circumstance. And Roger says most of them result into marriage. And Lawrence Frimpong says it has to be, then what's the point? So Terry Paul says, no way. Ladies, shape your eye in the relationship. And Mark Paradise says, oh yes, the devil you know is better than the angel you don't know. Elizabeth Hope says, no please, it doesn't show maturity and respect. And Prince says, in my opinion, I do believe some do and some also don't. Page 1 says, hint, use John DeMello as an example. And Bra Colby says it depends on the partners. And Question Margaret comes in to say that please ask John DeMello. And Interman asks us, Joyce, what is your view? We'll give you our views another time. Bro Coffee says dating has no guarantee to marriage. And McLean says hell no. Prince Keadu says no please. And Vicky says never. So there are more comments on that Facebook page. Do keep them coming through. Remember, the interactive trade is Facebook and Twitter. It's Joy News on TV. Now, it's been a terrific Tuesday edition of Joy News Interactive. From me and the team, we say thank you for watching and enjoy the video of the day.
Keep up! Hey,